another section of Hinduism called Itihas. The epics of Ramayana, the epics of Mahabharata are called Itihas. So now please make this distinction. Ramayana and Mahabharats are not even Puran. They are Itihas. And the distinction between Puran and Itihas is, Puran are imaginary, Itihas is suspected to be true, that it must have happened. So you can still find out the reminiscence of Ramayana or Mahabharata, but you can never find the evidences of Puran. Those Purans are imaginary, to make you understand. Those are illustrations, those are examples. That if you have read Ved, you will find no contradiction in any religion at all. Because they are all inspired by the same principles. And to test that, I bought Quran. And I started reading Quran also. I bought Bible. I bought Avastha, which is Zoroastrian book. I started reading that also. Because I wanted to know what is this contradiction, what these world over fighting going on. And the honest confession is that there's hardly any contradiction. These are all inspired by the same principles. The truth is that if you understand the principle, there won't be any confusion. Like we are lawyers, if we understand the law, the facts may differ case to case. But if you apply the law, if you have the clear understanding of the law, there's no confusion. One more unfortunate aspect which I'm noticing nowadays among lawyers also, most of the lawyers concentrate too much on the facts. Friends, we are lawyers. That when a client engages you, you cannot master the facts better than him, because he has undergone those facts. You always will have a secondary knowledge of the facts. You are a lawyer. The definition of a lawyer is the person who possesses the knowledge of law. I'll give you an example, again an illustration. If I give you a little tukda of paneer and ask you to eat, Ved say gain knowledge. The principle, the underlying principle of Vedanta is gain knowledge. Gaining knowledge is also explained in Nyaya Shastra. Aksapada Gautam is said to be the compiler of Nyaya Sutra, and he had given 4 means of gaining knowledge according to the principles propounded therein. 4 means of gaining knowledge is, first is called Pratyaksha, second is called Anuman, third is called Upamana, and fourth is called Shabd. I'll explain all these 4. First means of obtaining knowledge is Pratyaksha. Pratyaksha means which you perceive personally. So your perception personally happens by 5 indriya. 5 indriya are aankh, naak, kaan, jivya or tvacha. Eyes, nose, ears, tongue, and skin. These are the 5 means of perception. And what do they perceive, these 5 means? You look through your eyes, you hear from your ears, you smell from your nose, you taste from your tongue, and you feel from your skin. Now these perceptions are also divided into 2 parts. One is called Laukik perception, the other is called Alaukik perception. Laukik perception is ordinary perception, which is tangible perception, which you could look, which you could touch. Alaukik perception, extraordinary perception, which is intangible, which you can feel, but you can't touch, you can't see. Like in this room, Alaukik perception is that there is wind. None of us can survive without air. We can't see, we can't touch air. This is Alaukik perception, but it is Pratyaksh. We feel that yes, there is air. If I ask any of you, does this room have air? All of you will say, yes, there is. None of you could see. That is Alaukik perception. So Pratyaksh has these 2 divisions. The second is Anuman, inference, which is again very logical. We draw inferences in law also. And see, this is all ancient knowledge given in Vedanta. Inference is that when you're walking on a road which is wet, you draw an inference that there must have been a rain a few hours back. Anuman. You have a knowledge of a rain which you have not seen. You have seen simply the wet road, but you are drawing an inference that there must have been rains. Isn't it? Third is Upaman. Upaman is called comparison, which in legal parlance we call precedents. We compare the facts of the case from earlier decisions to the present case. Judicial precedents we compare that. Don't we all argue that, my lord, in such and such case, this was happened, and hence in my case also this should happen. Now see, I'm just giving you all those legal current situation which is so ancient, already prescribed in our books. Upaman is those comparisons. So you obtain knowledge through comparing 2 things. So first was Pratyaksh, second was Anuman, third was Upaman, and fourth is Shabd. Shabd is again divided into 2 parts, oral and written. Most of us today rely on written word. All our law books, all our law journals are Shabd, written books which we cite to the judges, isn't it? And when we read those books, we obtain that knowledge from that Shabd. In ancient times, when there were no books, this knowledge used to percolate through Shabd by the Guru to the Shishya, which also happens today. The seniors tell the juniors to do this, and with that simple guidance orally given, the junior learns, gains knowledge. So the Shabd, oral or written, is the fourth means of knowledge. prescribed. Now please understand and underline the word means. Because if it has lost upon you, I want to remind you that these are not knowledge. These are means of gaining knowledge. Knowledge has yet not come to you. Knowledge is something else. So when I gave you these four, please underline the word means. These are the means of getting knowledge. These are not knowledge. And Vedanta say knowledge is what? Whatever you have gained through means is simply put under one bracket called adhyayan. All these means are put under one bracket only, that is called adhyayan. But the knowledge does not come by adhyayan alone. That is not knowledge, that is your adhyayan. And that is called, in the current parlance, information. Adhyayan is simply information. You have to convert this information into knowledge by other steps. After adhyayan comes chintan. You have to ponder upon that adhyayan, what you have gained. If you do not ponder upon it, if you do not do the chintan on your adhyayan, it remains an information but doesn't convert into knowledge. So you have to think. So the second principle today's discourse for you is, when I first told you to obtain knowledge, this is the second point which I am giving you. Second Guru Mantra to you all. Think. First, obtain knowledge. I gave you means. Second, think. Because thinking is essential. Thinking is original. Thinking is human. None of the species in the world except humans think. This is the best gift bestowed by the God to only humans, and that is to think. Think and convert that information into knowledge by chintan. After chintan, there's another step. Because now that you've got that information converted into knowledge, you have to utilize that knowledge. Because if you cannot utilize knowledge, it's useless. Simply by having knowledge has no purpose. So you have to apply that knowledge. And for that application of knowledge, the third step comes called manan. After chintan comes manan, where you decipher the means to apply that chintan knowledge into application of utility. That can only happen after manan. Because chintan will convert information into knowledge. It's manan which will give you the sense, the idea, the innovation of applying it.